Imagine a single brief voltage sag that made badge readers reset intermittently for 2 days. No blown breakers, no headline outage, but tenants couldn't get into their suites during morning deliveries. It sounds minor, but the ripple was real.
No way! Tenants locked out over shipping windows? That's the kind of call ops gets at 6 a.m.
Welcome to Built, Wired, and Secured. I'm Alex Morgan.
Today, we dig into a quiet troublemaker, power quality. Not the dramatic outage, but sags, spikes, harmonics, and grounding issues that make equipment flaky over weeks or months. We'll make those terms practical, show low-friction detection steps, and give you a short triage checklist you can use this week. Michael, James, great to have you.
Glad to be here. These problems hide in plain sight until they don't.
Let's start with the basics so listeners have a common language. A sag is a short drop in voltage, often a motor start. A transient is a very fast spike, like switching or lightning. Harmonics distort the waveform from nonlinear loads, and grounding faults give you a noisy reference. Each shows up differently in real systems.
Right. And to operations, that looks like controllers randomly rebooting, sensors drifting, or metering behaving strangely, not something you can always trace at first glance.
Exactly. I've seen HVAC controllers restart at 4:30 a.m. for weeks before anyone suspected line noise. Tenants complained about temperature swings, maintenance chased thermostats. The real problem was a motor start in a nearby mechanical room sending transients down the line.
So if I'm on a team with unexplained reboots or drifting sensors, power quality should be on my checklist. But buying a full power analyzer isn't always realistic. Michael, what's a practical first step for detection?
Start simple. Use intelligent PDUs and managed UPSs that log input voltage and event history. Those often catch sags and spikes.
Quick question. How often do teams actually deploy portable meters in the wild?
Fair point. Add portable clamp meters or handheld analyzers for spot checks during suspected events. And inexpensive waveform recorders at critical racks or control panels give you a baseline. The goal is to correlate incidents, time of day, equipment starting, tenant activity, with recorded anomalies.
And you can often do useful work with logs you already have. BAS, access control, UPS event histories. Align those timestamps before buying more gear.
Also, don't underestimate watching the site during problem hours. A controlled motor start test or sitting in the mechanical room while systems kick in will often reveal the pattern.
Good. Let's talk trade-offs, monitoring versus hardening. James, you often push maintenance first. How does that fit with options like UPSAs, isolation transformers, or power conditioners?
I don't disagree, but owners with tiny budgets can't always wait for a monitoring campaign. Sometimes they want a quick fix now.
Say more. What does quick look like? And who's paying for the risk?
Often, quick is a stopgap. Install a single UPS on a sensitive rack or isolate a panel. It calms tenants and buys time. But if you skip the diagnostics, you risk hiding an upstream problem that gets worse.
Exactly. From an operational standpoint, some systems need protection immediately. Life safety, elevators, critical server gear. Protect them. But pair that with monitoring upstream so you know whether the UPS is masking a larger wiring or utility issue.
Right. Layered response. Maintain and tighten. Monitor to collect evidence, then harden surgically where the data points. Let's get tactical. Michael, give us a short triage checklist teams can use this week.
3 immediate actions. 1. Correlate timestamps across systems. BAS logs, access control, UPS, and help desk tickets. 2. Take spot voltage readings at the affected panel and the device input during suspected events. 3. Pull event history from PDUs or UPSs right away. If anomalies repeat, escalate to continuous monitoring or a power quality survey.
Operational add-ons. Inspect tightness and grounding on the next PM round, and schedule a controlled motor start test if large motors are suspected. If tenant activity correlates with the issue, talk to them about staggered starts while you collect data.
Nice. Share 2 short vignettes, one where monitoring saved money and one where capital was necessary. Michael, quick example of monitoring changing the path.
We had a high-rise with intermittent elevator control resets. The owner wanted isolation transformers for the whole bank. We installed temporary waveform loggers at the elevator panels and on the main feeders. Logs showed harmonics spiking when a tenant's new data rack powered up. Tenant side issue. The surgical fix targeted UPS and demand management in the tenant space, far cheaper than transformers.
On the other hand, a medical campus had repeated controller failures. Monitoring and commissioning checks led us to corroded neutral connections and outside switchgear. That needed a capital repair. But because we had data, we prioritized the outage window to minimize patient impact.
Those contrast well. Data first, fix surgically. Before we close, 3 things listeners can do this week. Michael, run it down.
1. Pull and align recent logs across BAS, access control, UPS, and help desk tickets. 2. Take spot voltage readings during suspect hours or plug in a handheld recorder at the panel. 3. Add a grounding and connection check to your next preventive maintenance round.
And if anomalies repeat, run a short monitoring campaign, 2 weeks of waveform logging at the problem point, and avoid jumping to full-scale capital fixes without that evidence. Communicate with tenants about temporary procedures while you collect data.
Good guidance. You can download a 2-page power quality triage checklist from GDS Technology that includes a log correlation template, quick spot check steps, and a vendor-neutral decision flow for monitoring versus hardening.
Parting thought. Always ask, what breaks if this goes down? If tenants or critical services feel it, escalate. If it's a local control point with low impact, monitor and maintain. Match the response to the consequence.
And remember, the best day in operations is the one nobody notices. Small, repeatable checks and clear communication beat reactive chaos. Preventative maintenance, targeted monitoring, and surgical capital work together. Trust the process.
That wraps up this episode of Built, Wired, and Secured. Today, we explored practical ways to recognize and act on power quality problems, what they are, how to detect them without breaking the bank, and how to choose between monitoring, maintenance, and capital fixes. Download the 2-page power quality triage checklist at GDS Technology and subscribe for more short operational episodes. Built to last. Wired